Hello, 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 everybody. All the people that watch my show. Thank you for the one person that watches my show. I appreciate that. So I was wondering if maybe you could tell somebody else about my channel, my show, my channel. And maybe that person could say another one. And maybe I'll have like 20 people one day on the channel. Because I got to do what I got to do. I can't not do what I got to do. Because if I don't do what I got to do, I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be ecstatic about my life or anything like that. So this is my calling. To read the Bible practically. You know, not low way up here where people can't understand the words. Or way down here where it's for children and watered down. No, you're not supposed to water down the Bible. You're supposed to read it for the word that it is and then think about what it's saying, okay? And see, this is almost the same thing that we do when we do book reports. When we do book reports and we do any kind of reports that we will study the book and just read it and then write down what we read, okay? Now, you do not have to be a believer to read the Bible. You don't have to be a believer to read the Bible. You can just read it like a book, you know, and study it and everything. But if the inside, that stuff on the inside changed for the good, for the better, then you probably would like to continue to read it so that you can feel better about how to get value from this life. Okay, because remember, Ecclesiastes is the book that's asking the question, what profit as a man from all his labor? Basically, can you, as a man or a woman, be happy and still doing the things that you're doing, or still thinking the way you do? Because this book is really it is really a piece of work. I'll say it like that. People need to be mature, very mature when they're reading this book. Because this book explains things kind of on the other side. Okay? Okay, and so you have to be well studied of yourself. Okay? Because if you say something is vanity, is all vanity, that's not a good thing, right? But it is. It's always been, okay? But you got to listen and hear what is being said. And not only that, see, I would ask questions and I would be like, well, what do you think? You know, I haven't had any viewers or any responses, but I'm glad I'm still on YouTube because, like I said, I do it for myself, okay? So, but I'm a practical person, very practical. I am what is called a realist, okay? And you got to realize and understand, a lot of people that are realists, they don't believe. They're not believers. But that don't mean anything. The reason why I said don't mean anything, that's your choice. I don't think it's bad, good, whatever. Ooh, the church heard me say that. They would have a fit. Now remember, I'm Jeannie, and I'm being as transparent with you as I can be. That's one thing about it. I like being transparent. I like for people to see what I look like every day. I woke up like this. You know what I mean? Because when you have things on that cover up your real beauty, you don't know who you are. See? Before all of these actors and actresses starting to make videos without makeup, that's not the first time that people have done that. And makeup clogs your pores. Yeah, I've always used that water and Vaseline. That's what I use on my face, y'all. Water and Vaseline. I don't know. My granny told me Vaseline helped everything. All right, so the outline of Ecclesiastes is we're going to start with the prologue, identification of the book and summary of the preacher's investigations, state the problem, The problem is, can true value be found in this life? And then the attempts at solutions to the problem. Okay. So then developing a theme, practical wisdom and its uses in this book, a return to the theme, more on wisdom and its uses. The only value is to fear God and obey him. And the epilogue, confirmation of the conclusion. I'm not here to recruit you or anything. I am here to do what I'm supposed to do. Okay? And like I said, when I read this from this book, I know it's for me. Okay? But it could be for someone else too. See? I don't want you to sit there and think about God and Jesus and all that stuff and get and say, you will miss what's being said if that stays in your mind. You don't have to be a believer to read this book. I really feel that way. You do not have to be a believer to read this book. Now, me personally, I am in fear of the Lord. Okay? Also in awe of him because of the things that he has made on this earth that are so beautiful. I need you. That's how you need your brain to be. Just choose life. Okay? Life is green and it's budding and it grows and, choose life and not death. Okay? If you don't want to read this book, you don't have to. But if you read this book, it's okay. Ain't nobody trying to take over your life and all that stuff. Hey, don't think you're that important. Okay, so here we go. Chapter 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king of Jerusalem. We already know who that is. That's Solomon. Vanity of vanities, said the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit has a man from all his labor in which he toils under the sun? One generation passes away and the other generation comes, but the earth abides forever. The sun also rises and the sun goes down and hastens to the place where it rose. The wind goes toward the south and turns around to the north. The wind whirls about continually and comes again on its circuit. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. I really like that verse. All waters go to the sea, and the sea is still not full. There's a lot of things we don't know about the sea. Them, way down at the floor. It's not meant for us to know that stuff. Maybe if you just have one area where you don't have all the answers, that you could just build up from there. Because it's really people who feel like they don't have the answers to the issues or whatever. Just float on. If you don't have an answer to the problems and the issues, float on, honey. Just float on. Now, if you are thinking about these solutions in your head, then you can write down what you think about these solutions. Okay? Because a lot of people are saying that Jesus is the only way, which he is, and I believe that. But at the same time, check this out. What about Native Indians? See, you can't tell me Native Indians are not going to heaven. They worship the very earth that God has made. Okay? You cannot tell me that Jewish people are not going to heaven. They don't believe in God either. Excuse me. They don't believe in Jesus either. But they believe in God, and they're not going to go to heaven either? See? No. What I'm saying is this. God loves us enough to change the way we look at things. See? When we young, we just getting our feet wet. Okay? Then when we go to school, and our school years are preparing us for the when we get old enough. Those years are preparing us to want to do what we want to do. And it comes naturally. If you're trying to do something that's not natural, you're going to be upset. You have to do what you naturally love, then you will be good all the time. Me personally, I really liked raising my kids. They was bad, y'all. But I really still loved raising them because that is one thing that they can't take away from me. You cannot take my kids away from me. See? And I might mess up, and then you could take them physically, but you still can't take them away from me. Because they're going to always think about me, no matter what. I'm their mother and the dad. Okay? So, okay, here we go. I'm sorry. I always get flustered by that quote, by that part. When it says, all the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Wow. Wow. Okay. To the place from which the rivers come. There they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot express it. You can't express it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing. See? Your eyes should be satisfied with seeing instead of trying to look for something. See? Now, this is just practical wisdom. This is not a all in or all out or whatever, trying to get you to change your mind. Woo, woo, woo. No, but that is practical because you know what? The eyes, ain't that something? The eye is not satisfied with seeing. That don't matter who you are. You don't have to be a believer to know that because that's practical wisdom. The only thing that I would wish people that are not believers would do would get wisdom. Because when you get wisdom, you understand someone else's story. See? And this is why I'm reading this, so we can understand the story in Ecclesiastes. Because I ain't never heard nobody preach from it. Okay? So, what it say? Yet the sea is not full. To the place from which the rivers come, they return again. All things are full of labor, man cannot express it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. Just hearing. No, we want to hear them gossip, honey. We want to hear what this said and who said and what said what. See, I'm not like that. Anytime you listen to gossip or you in gossip, it ain't never no good. Never. And see, this is the thing. The thing is this. When you do not gossip, when it comes to superstars and celebrities, it's got to come out because they're living their life in front of us publicly. The ear filled with hearing. Everything about superstars and celebrities is off limits on that because they're living their life right in front of us. Okay, so we are going to want to hear the good stuff about the stars and celebrities, but that is for us personally. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, and the ear is not satisfied filled with hearing. That which has been is what will be. Ain't nothing changed under the sun. That which is done is what will be done. And there is nothing new under the sun. There it goes, y'all. Is there anything of which it may be said, see, this is new? The internet, World Wide Web, that's new. The way we communicate with each other, that's very new. People don't talk to people anymore. They're just on the computer. So, is there anything of which it may be said, see, this is new? It has already been in ancient times before us. There is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of things that are to come by those who will come after. See, There is there is therefore be any remembrance of the things that are to come, or the things, those who will come after those things, because you forget stuff. It makes it so bad when you growing up and everything. You be like, oh, I'm so pretty, I'm so young, and all that. You know, you run and you run. You can run and jump over snowbanks and all that stuff, and you can flip and all that. And then as your age goes, you can't do it no more if you are not conditioned. Yeah. And then on top of that, if you got an injury and you can't do that no more, then it's okay. But don't sit here and think that you're supposed to do this and supposed to do that, and then you are sad and miserable. Because the things that make you sad and miserable, you're not supposed to be doing those things. You're supposed to be doing the things that make you happy and laugh and, have a good day. That's all we need, is a good day today, tomorrow, and forever. But right here it say, nor will there be any remembrance of things that are to come by those who will come after. So they ain't worried about those things that are to come, because they don't know what they're going to be. So this part is called the grief of wisdom. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem, and I set my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all that is done under heaven. This burdensome task God has given to the sons of man, by which they may be exercised. Okay. Sorry, y'all, I have to get a drink. Okay. Now, let's do this again. I, the preacher, was king over Israel and Jerusalem. We already know that's Solomon. And I set my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all that is done under heaven. This burdensome task God has given to the Son of Man, by which they may be exercised. Okay. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and indeed all is vanity and grasping for the wind. That's all we doing. What is crooked cannot be made straight, and what is lacking cannot be numbered. Because, see, that's how it is with homeless people, with drug addicts, we are the Son of Man, okay? We are to be concerned about other men. That's how we are exercised, by our heart, our capacity to feel empathy. This is, how a man is exercised, if he's a giver or not. Okay. When you are being exercised with the things that are under heaven, okay, you're not going to do the things that are contrary to a great personal life. See? And no matter what, we all got it. Y'all know the serial killers and all that stuff. They love to confess their stuff, don't they? Because they got stuff in their heart. And they want to get it out. And then when they get it out, they feel a lot better. And they adjust to their environment. And that's what happens. Okay? So, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and indeed all is vanity and grasping of the wind. What is crooked cannot be made straight, and what is lacking cannot be numbered. I communed with my heart, saying, look, I have attained greatness and have gained more wisdom than all who were before me in Jerusalem. My heart has understood great wisdom and knowledge. And I set my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is grasping for the wind. See? For in much wisdom is much grief. And he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. Wow. Isn't that something? The people that increase knowledge is increasing sorrow at the same time. Because when we have knowledge and stuff and we feel like some of these things that we are thinking will probably work out, it's not going to work out because we can't make what was straight crooked. We can't make, if something is crooked, we can't make it straight. And if something is lacking, it cannot be numbered. Like how many kids get molested everywhere they go? They're not even safe at school anymore. They're not safe at church anymore. They're not safe at church in the classroom or in the nursery. They are not safe anymore. Okay? So then it says, I set my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this is also is grasping for the wind. For in much wisdom is much grief. And he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. Because a lot of people that have knowledge, other people think they bad and think they this, and then people leave them alone. See, but that's not true. It's not true. But we can't help but be practical. We are realists with real wisdom in here. So we have to realize and understand. That's our life to God. Look. That's all our lives is. And then we're trying to get our hair done and get our everything done so that we can do this and do that. Hey, that's grasping at the wind. And you know it's really silly to try to grasp the wind now. I mean, it really is silly trying to grasp the wind, y'all. Because you can't hold the wind in your hands. That's the example. So stop grasping at the wind. Well, what do I do when I'm grasping at the wind? Get some wisdom. And if you can't get no wisdom, don't stop somebody else from getting wisdom. Okay? Don't hinder somebody else. If you guys know that someone is really trying to get knowledge by studying the things of the earth, studying everything that's under the sun, then you can say that you have wisdom. Because you know what? With wisdom is sorrow. Because a lot of people that are smart are by themselves. Because all those things to the person that's by themselves, they're mature about it. See? They're mature about the wisdom that they have. And so should we. We should study the wisdom that we have. See, and everybody has wisdom or not. That has nothing to do with being a believer. See, I'm so tired of this people. Well, yeah, but God gonna say this and God gonna say that. Okay, read it like a book then. Now, God gonna pull some stuff out or put some stuff in. It's okay. Because this is a book. We read all kinds of books. Say the Bible to anybody, Lord. Ooh. But we'll read that rated R book. We'll read that rated X book. The only book we don't want to read is the Bible because the Bible's trying to change my mind. No, it's not. If you let it, maybe it will. But if you read it just as a book, you're going to get the wisdom out of it. Okay? It's not a bad book to read at all. Okay, so here is the life application part. Vanity of vanities, or utterly meaningless and useless. Breath of breaths, meaning a most useless thing. The metaphor breath points to what is transitory, and impermanent. Okay, transitory and impermanent as will the wind later in the chapter. Okay. The wording of verse 12 and 8 is nearly identical. Okay, chapter 1, verse 2 thus sets forth the beginning, and 12:8 the conclusion of the preacher's quest. So see, and that's another reason why I like Ecclesiastes, because it has a start and it has a finish. See, a lot of the other books, you got to do your wisdom part. A lot of the other books, they present some of the same things, but Ecclesiastes is a book by itself. Okay, so here is the true theme of the book. What gives genuine value to existence? Can that factor be found in the present life? The question posed by the preacher explains why everything is useless. There is no gain, no profit, no abiding value to man from his labor in this life. Under the sun, in the preacher's term, this is more a synonym for in this life than on the planet. So when he says there's nothing new under the sun, he's not talking about the planets. Okay? He's talking about us in this life. Okay? So when he says nothing's new under the sun sets and rises and goes back to where it is, that is because we are talking about our life. Okay? Man is born and dies, but the world seems not to notice. No. And when we gone, we gone. Ain't nobody gonna notice. One day, we all gonna pass away. I would like to live to be a little bit older, maybe about 85, 86 with my faculties, with my right mind. Yeah, I'd like to live a little longer. I want to see some things in this earth. And I really want to be able to go different places where I can see different things. Okay. There is no profit, no abiding value to man from his labor in this life. Under the sun, in a preacher's terms, this is more a synonym for in this life than on this planet. Okay. Man is born and dies, but the world seems not to notice. The sun, wind, and rivers behave exactly as they always have since time began, independent of man's enterprises. See, you cannot rule the wind, fire. What does it say? The sun, wind, and rivers. Those are three things we cannot control. Well, if we had to, we would control the river. We could say the air turbines, that's the wind. But you can't catch it. You still can't grab it. And then the sun. Oh, no, you can't grab the sun at all. So, that's what that means. Okay. The writer finds a weariness in the inability of human effort to introduce any lasting change into the world. Okay? The preacher now turns his attention to the problem and recounts his efforts to solve it. Wisdom. The preacher uses the word wisdom in an unconventional manner here. Normally, wisdom in biblical wisdom literature means piety. See? We ain't going to do that piety stuff either. We're supposed to be stronger than that. But then this is saying we're supposed to know that these things are just vanity. It's all vanity, you guys. But don't be dumb with it. Get your kids a whole big old thing of toys. Or is that some paper that's just wrapped up like presents and you just put it all so you can take a picture, put it on Facebook? That is nuts. Okay. So then it says, the writer finds a weariness in the inability of human effort to introduce any lasting change into the world. The preacher now turns his attention to the problem and recounts his efforts to solve it. The preacher uses the word wisdom in an unconventional manner here. Normally, wisdom in the biblical wisdom literature means piety, godliness, and virtue. But here, human wisdom is meant perhaps along the lines of Greek philosophy, with truth is sought solely by means of the intellect. So the truth is sought solely by the means of the intellect. Okay. Burdensome tasks by which they may be exercised, or an unhappy task God has given people with which to be busied. See? If something keeps you busy, then you're doing something, But remember, if you even work, we can't change nothing. But we do all the time. See? But we can't change those people. You cannot change a person that is vain. Somebody that's vain, oh no, don't even talk to them, because they're never going to see your side, and then they're always going to think you after them and all that. Yeah, just leave that alone. Okay, so all man's labor is useless. It cannot remedy the ills of the world. It is likely trying to catch the wind in one's fist. The fallacy of human wisdom as an ultimate value. It cannot repair what is defective, nor supply what is lacking. The second fallacy of wisdom as an ultimate value, it has brought the teacher only grief. So wisdom and knowledge are vanity too in itself. So vanity and logic in itself are vanity. And see, that makes me feel a lot better, because when I leave this world, I will have my time on this world, and then I'm gone. I believe in the afterlife. I believe in heaven or hell. And I do believe that I will be able to go to heaven when I die. But the thing is this, we just need to keep finding wisdom, okay? Because think about it, seriously. The job that you got, somebody else gonna do it, and then somebody else already did it. And see, that's how you gotta look at life. It's okay, because life is not long. So when life is not long, don't do vain things. Don't do vanity things. Get some wisdom. Get some wisdom from somewhere. Okay? Don't keep on buying all this stuff and looking at all this stuff, and then you miserable your next paycheck. Come on now. If you fall for everything, you cannot stand for anything. Okay? So tomorrow we're going to start chapter 2. I want to thank you guys for listening and watching my videos. And like I said, if you don't, I'll keep my videos for myself. And I would like to say have a good day. Happy New Year. And hope to see you really soon. Thank you. Bye.